Prosody rate equals slow. 60 stars in our galaxy are wrong. /prosody. Their infrared signatures refuse every natural explanation. The physics says they cannot hide what they're doing. The gravity matrix. 60 stars radiate excess infrared. Physics demands answers. At the gravity matrix, this dataset stopped us cold. Not every anomaly earns this attention. This one does. Project Hephaistos searched 15 billion stars for this signal. 60 candidates survived every contamination filter applied. The question is not whether this is worth asking. The question is, what could possibly cause this? Freeman Dyson asked this question in 1960. Any civilization capturing stellar energy must radiate heat. The second law of thermodynamics permits no exceptions. Not for humans, not for any civilization anywhere. Carl Sagan predicted it in 1980. The tools didn't exist. Gaia changed everything. 15 billion stars with precise distances. Cross-matched with WISE for 3/4 to 22 micron infrared coverage. The Dyson signature lands between 12 and 22 microns. 300 to 600 Kelvin, mandatory waste heat zone. Half-complete Dyson sphere, full solar luminosity redirected to infrared. Detectable from kiloparsec distances using current instruments. Macias Suaz at Uppsala designed the methodology to avoid cherry-picking. Start with 15 billion. Apply every known contamination filter. What remained could not be explained by any known process. We want to be precise about what that means. An unexplained signal is not proof of advanced life. But 60 stars surviving every filter demands investigation. Spectroscopic follow-up began in 2024 at La Palma Observatory. Every candidate tested normal, invisible light spectroscopy. The infrared excess remained. The investigation deepens. To understand Hephaistos, start with Freeman Dyson. Dyson's 1960 paper was a detection strategy, not prediction. Any Kardashev Type II civilization captures its star's full output. 400 trillion watts, the sun fully harvested. The engineering is unknown, the thermodynamics is not. No structure converts energy to work at full efficiency. Waste heat at 300 to 600 Kelvin is thermodynamically mandatory. In 2015, a star in Cygnus broke all rules. KIC 8,462,852 dimmed 22%, irregularly, inexplicably. The megastructure hypothesis dominated headlines for months. Bayagian's team at LSU demanded spectroscopic evidence first. 3 years of monitoring pointed to dust clouds, not megastructures. But the case became a template for investigation. Suaz had this in mind when designing Hephaistos. Key insight: don't hunt individual stars, hunt the catalog. Cross-match Gaia parallaxes against WISE W3 and W4 bands. Filter 1. Remove evolved giant stars, naturally infrared bright. Filter 2. Remove binary pairs. Stellar heating mimics signal. Filter 3. Circumstellar disks around young stars emit identically. Tracking 15 billion stars. Subscribe, we're following this. Filter 4. Calibration artifacts from the WISE detector itself. Each filter eliminates thousands of candidates. 60 survive everything. Here is the question keeping astrophysicists awake at 2 a.m. What natural process produces this signature in 60 stellar systems? 3 of the 60 orbit solar-type G-stars, like our Sun. 900 to 1, 500 light-years away, close enough for follow-up. NOT and WHT spectroscopy found nothing unusual in visible light. No emission lines, no variability, no stellar activity anomalies. The anomaly exists only in mid-infrared. That specificity matters. Zachrison at Uppsala modeled what a Dyson swarm looks like. A 10% coverage Dyson swarm is already detectable by Hephaistos. The solid shell from fiction is not what Dyson proposed. Dyson described a loose cloud of collectors, engineering, not architecture. And here is the detail that changes this investigation entirely. A civilization cannot hide this emission without violating physics. The second law doesn't care whether you want discovery. Any advanced civilization radiates this signal, passively, continuously. This makes Hephaistos the most thermodynamically rigorous SETI ever run. 60 stars still glow in ways defying every known explanation. What comes next requires looking more closely, much more closely. Now the data enters territory SETI can no longer ignore. In 2025, the SETI Institute formally joined the Hephaistos collaboration. Radio follow-up began on top 20 candidates, Meerkat and ATA. Here is the question Jason Wright at Penn State tracks. If Type II civilizations exist, detect them this way. Not by radio signals, requiring intentional transmission, but by the waste heat that physics makes inescapable. The G-star subset caught our attention in the preprint. 3 solar-type G-stars at 901, 500 light-years, hardest to dismiss. G-stars like our Sun live 10 billion years, enough time. Dyson structures, if built, orbit long-lived stable stars. The 3 G-star candidates in Hephaistos II exceed 3 sigma significance. Less than 0.3% probability, this is statistical noise. The strongest counterargument deserves a direct answer. Perhaps unresolved background galaxies, distant AGN thermal emission. The team checked Gaia parallax, all confirmed stellar distances. Any background AGN is ruled out by proper motion. The contamination argument fails on its own evidence. What we are left with is a genuine astrophysical mystery. And that mystery has 2 possible categories of explanation. Category 1, an unknown natural process producing mid-infrared excess. Perhaps a phenomenon not yet catalogued in astrophysics textbooks. Category 2, technology consistent with partial Dyson construction. The data cannot distinguish between these 2 categories, yet. Freeman Dyson sat in Princeton and did a calculation. He asked, how would our technological trajectory detect this signal? He concluded, look for infrared excess in a stellar catalog. In 1960, no catalog existed that could run this test. The instruments Dyson needed were not built until 2009. The catalog he needed, Gaia DR3, arrived in 2022. 65 years between the proposal and the first systematic test. In our assessment, here is what the data shows. 60 stars with confirmed infrared excess, surviving every contamination filter. 3 are solar-type G-stars, the most Earth-analog stellar class. Spectroscopy finds nothing unusual invisible light for any. The preprint has been reviewed internally by 3 independent teams. Not claiming alien technology, we are saying, explain this. If no natural explanation exists, the other category stands. The Fermi paradox has never had a more quantitative test. Either answer, new astrophysics or new human history. Framework, what to watch over the next 3 years. Hephaistos II passes peer review, 60 candidates stand. If Roman confirms signatures in 2028, significance escalates. ELT spectroscopy finds no absorption features, mystery deepens. Radio follow-up finds coherent signals, a new wow moment. This is not fiction. This is the observational pathway. Each step either eliminates candidates or forces the question harder. The data quality for an extraordinary claim is being gathered. Carl Sagan's standard: extraordinary claims need extraordinary evidence. Hephaistos meets that standard, one filter at a time. Now, the Fermi paradox has never been more uncomfortable. Enrico Fermi asked in 1950, "Where is everybody? Billions of years, billions of stars, where are signals?" Project Hephaistos provides the most direct empirical answer ever attempted. If none are artificial, the great silence deepens. The Fermi paradox becomes more constrained, not more mysterious. If even one is confirmed artificial, everything changes. Not just for SETI, for physics, for philosophy, for self-understanding. A Type II civilization at 1-200 light-years, not abstract. When that light departed, Rome was still an empire. Whatever is there, it does not know we exist. We're reading a signal that departed before the printing press. And the signal says, something there is redirecting enormous energy. Or something unprecedented is happening in stellar physics. Both answers advance human knowledge in significant ways. This is the generation that gets to find out. Roman Space Telescope launches in 2027 with Tanks WISE's sensitivity. Hephaistos III will use Roman data to search 600+ candidates. Within 5 years, the candidate list grows tenfold or collapses. Either outcome is the result science demanded. Our assessment, the most significant dataset from 2024. Not because it proves anything, because it defies explanation. The gravity matrix will follow every spectroscopic update, every revision. When Roman delivers its first infrared survey, we'll be here. If that dataset resolves the question, you'll know first. Dyson spent 65 years wondering if anyone would run this. He died in 2020, 4 years before the first answer. The physics he wrote in 1960 is being tested now. If this investigation mattered to you, subscribe and continue. Next, Vera Rubin Observatory begins its decade-long survey.